Hello, this is a video lecture for CTE Career Track English, and this is for Unit 6, which is titled Writing a Professional Email. Unit 6. This is an interactive video, so you should have your textbook in front of you with a pen or a pencil, and as we come to the pages that have questions, you should try to answer the questions in your book, and then this video will give you the correct answers or sample answers. So this is Unit 6, writing a professional email, and we shall begin now. Okay, so page 134, and basically I will be reading every page and I will be giving you the answers or sample answers to the questions. So, as I already said, you should have your textbook in front of you as you watch this video. And when there is a question or there is some writing to do, please spend a few minutes trying to answer the questions. Okay, so Chapter 1, Introduction to Formal Email Writing. This unit deals with how to write a formal email. Writing a formal email is required in business or professional settings when you want to be polite, when you don't know the recipient well, or when you don't want to be too casual. In many cases, work or academic emails use formal language. Answer the following questions. Well, I don't think you're with a partner, so by yourself. Now, first of all, before we read the question, I just want to talk about the first paragraph. There is the word recipient, and if that word is a new word for you, recipient comes from the word receive. So the recipient is the receiving person, the person who receives the email. Okay, so that is called the recipient. And we're talking about formal emails. So writing emails in academic situations, in business situations, in work situations, etc. Okay, let's have a look at the first two questions now. Question 1. Below are some examples of formal and informal emails. Find and circle the formal emails. So please do that now. And then when you have finished that, have a look at question 2. Come up with other examples of formal emails. So try to write at least 2 extra examples of formal emails. It means when or why would you write a formal email? Okay, everybody, so question 1, question 2, and this lecture video will continue, but now there will be a pause from me, and I will give you some answers after 2 minutes. So I'm going to give you time to write your answers. Okay, so let's have a look at the next slide and you will have some example answers. So question 1, circle the circle the formal emails, and question 2, try to come up with some other examples. Okay, so a job application is a formal email. An email to a professor should be formal. A complaint to a company. There's a slight typo there. A complaint to a company. Okay, now sample answers for number 2. Other examples of formal emails. Sending legal contracts to clients. Okay, so this is more like in the business world. Sending legal contracts to clients. And here's another example. Sending a proposal to a company. A proposal, a business proposal. It's like a plan. This is what I propose. Now, maybe you wrote some different examples, but if you could not think of any others, you can use these ones and write them in your book. Okay, continuing. Page 135. Introduction to writing a formal email. Okay, so what is a formal email? Number 1, it is intended for professional, business, or educational use. Number 2, it uses the professional language with a predefined structure. Number 3, it is written for an official purpose, such as an inquiry, a response, an application, a notification, a complaint, a proposal. Okay, so that's a little bit of information there about what exactly is a formal email. Checkup questions. Read the example of a formal email below. Answer the following questions. Okay, so let's read it. So we got the subject, in this case, request for further information on smart materials. And here is the email. Dear Dr. Sophia Robinson, my name is John Cook, and I am the project manager at Fashion Forward. I recently had the opportunity to attend the International Symposium on Innovations in Smart Materials conference, where you presented on the latest advancements in smart materials. I'm writing to ask you a few follow-up questions to gain a better understanding of the potential applications of smart materials in the clothing industry. I would greatly appreciate it if you could provide further information on the following questions. Question number 1. Could you provide more details on the properties and characteristics of smart materials that make them suitable for use in the clothing industry? Next page. Question 2. How does the process of incorporating smart materials into clothing design and production differ from traditional materials? And question 3. Are there any specific types of smart materials that you believe would be best suited for the clothing industry and why? Thank you in advance for your time and assistance. I look forward to hearing back from you at your earliest convenience. Best regards, John Cook. John Cook, Project Manager, Fashion Forward. Phone number. Okay, so that's the email, and let's have a look at the questions. Question 1, who is the intended recipient of this email message? Question 2, what is the purpose or the intention of this email message? Okay, everybody, you got 2 minutes. Please write in your book your answers to these 2 questions. Okay, here comes the next slide with the answers. So, sample answer. If your answer is similar, then you can consider it correct. So the first one, who is the intended recipient? Dr. Sophia Robinson, who presented at the conference on the latest advancements in smart materials. So, I mean, that's a really perfect answer. You're not just putting Sophia Robinson, you're also saying, who is she? And then the second question, to seek additional information and insights from the presenter regarding the potential applications of smart materials in the clothing industry. So if you have an answer similar to this, you can consider it correct. If you did not write your answer yet, you can copy these answers. Okay, and moving on. Chapter 2, structuring formal emails, techniques and tips. Academic writing skills, writing a formal email structure. Okay, so subject line. Number 1, this is the first piece of information that the recipient will see and may also affect whether it will be read or not. Your subject is important. Now, everybody knows this. We all write and we all receive emails. Of course, we know how it works. But this is all about formal emails. So in the business world or in your university life, emails should be written in a formal way, but they're also maybe more important. So things like the subject are going to have a big effect. Number 2, it tells the recipient the main reason for your email. Number 3, it should be short but specific enough to reflect the main idea of the message, as in the examples below. Follow up on the previous meeting on June 2nd. Immediate action required, disconnection of service. Salutation. Number 1, this addresses the person you are writing to and serves as a greeting. Number 2, it varies depending on how well you know the recipient. And number 3, in business correspondence, it is preferable to use Dear Mr. Brown, last name, when you address a particular man. Dear Miss Brown, when you address a particular woman. No Miss or Mrs. So sorry, I pronounced it wrong. It should be Ms. Brown, but it's basically a neutral salutation, Ms. Brown. Dear Project Manager, that's the role. Dear Human Resources Department, that's the department. When you cannot find an individual's name, but only know the title of the person or the department. To whom it may concern, this is a very common one, when there is no single specific addressee or department. For example, letters of recommendation. Yeah, if your professor is writing a letter of recommendation for you, then your professor will write to whom it may concern, because we don't know who is reading it. Okay, next page. Tips. When it comes to punctuating the salutation in business letters or professional emails, there may be a comma or a colon. A colon is generally considered more formal. To whom it may concern should always be formatted with a capital letter at the beginning of each word and punctuated with a colon. Okay, now we're moving on. Opening line. Number 1. This starts by introducing yourself with your full name and job position if you are writing to someone for the first time. It briefly describes the reason for your email using an expression such as, I am writing in regards to, I am interested in, I would like to know, I am writing to inquire about, I'm writing in reference to, I regret to inform you. Right, I regret to inform you, that is already letting the reader know that this email is basically having some sort of bad news. I regret to inform you is kind of like, I'm sorry to say. Number 3, it expresses your thanks for the message if you are replying to a message you received, using an expression such as, thank you for your email regarding, thank you for your prompt reply, thank you for contacting our company. And the body, this should be concise and to the point, without unnecessary details. Concise, that word means you're not wasting words and you're not saying things which are not needed. Concise, you're just getting to the point. Number 2, it should explain the information you have already provided in the opening line. Number 3, it should be 2 or 3 paragraphs grouped with related information. Okay, let's keep going. So, next page, checkup questions. Below is the first part of a formal email, which is divided into 2 parts. Based on the context and the formal email structure discussed above, fill in the blanks with appropriate phrases and sentences. Okay, so you've got to fill in the subject and you've got to fill in the rest of the first paragraph. Now I'm going to read what we already have because it will give you some hint about how to answer the question. We don't know the subject. Dear Mr. Huck, I'm writing on behalf of Prime Engineering, a leading engineering company known for its innovative and sustainable solutions. Now we need to fill in the next part. To get a clue, let's read the second paragraph. We believe that this partnership has the potential to revolutionize the energy industry by combining our engineering expertise with the advanced green ammonia technology of your company. Our company is committed to developing sustainable solutions that have a positive impact on the environment and society. And we believe that your green ammonia technology can play a critical role in this. Attached to this email, you will find a mutually beneficial contract that outlines the terms of our partnership. The contract will outline the roles and responsibilities of both companies, as well as the revenue sharing arrangements and any other important details. Right, everybody, so you've got to try to write the subject and you've got to try to finish the first paragraph. And if you want to have a hint, I think the sentence that says, we believe that this partnership, that is going to give you a hint about how to fill in the first paragraph. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of time, 2 minutes. Please try to write your answers, and then we'll check them in a moment. Okay, let's have a look at some sample answers on the next slide. So, a sample answer. A sample means an example. Proposal for partnership in green ammonia technology. Okay, so it summarizes what the email is about. This is how we could fill in the second part of the first paragraph. I am writing on behalf of Prime Engineering, a leading engineering company known for its innovative and sustainable solutions. I would like to know if there is an opportunity for collaboration between our innovative engineering company and your reputable team. Okay, so partnership, collaboration. If you have a word like that, I think you're in the right area. Page 140. Writing a formal email, structure 2, closing. Number 1. This is meant for setting your expectations regarding the recipient's reply or further actions. Number 2. The different types of formal expressions include, if you have any questions, please let me know. Do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. I appreciate your cooperation. Thank you very much for your time regarding this matter. Your response will be greatly appreciated. I look forward to hearing from you at your earliest convenience. Complimentary close and signature. Number 1. Complimentary close goes right before your signature using word or words such as sincerely, respectfully, yours sincerely, yours respectfully, with kind or best or warm regards. You should identify yourself by full name, title, and contact information as seen below. So here's an example. Sincerely, Jennifer Brown. That's the signature, and then the information. Jennifer Brown, project manager, New Gene Bio Company. Okay, check-up questions. Below is the rest of the previous formal email example. Based on the context and the formal email structure discussed above, fill in the blanks with an appropriate closing and a signature. Right, so let's read it. We are confident that this partnership would be a win-win for both companies and will lead to exciting new opportunities for growth and success. I would like to invite you to schedule a meeting to discuss the details of the proposal further. Right, everybody, please write what you believe is the correct closing, complimentary close, and signature. We already have the signature. So fill it in with an appropriate closing, and then we'll check it in a moment. Okay, let's check. Sample answer, page 141. I look forward to hearing from you at your earliest convenience. Sincerely, and then we have the signature in the book. Writing a formal email, style. Style for a formal email. Number 1, write a message in a predefined structure. Number 2, don't use contractions. For example, can't. You're going to say cannot. Abbreviations, for example, BTW, which means by the way. Slang or idioms. Number 3, don't use all capital letters for emphasis. Number 4, don't use emojis. Number 5, remember that grammatical or typing mistakes can make you appear unprofessional and careless. Tips. You can sound more polite when you write your questions or requests in an indirect, polite style, as shown in the examples below. Give me information on the progress made in the development of green hydrogen production technology. Okay, so give me is a bit too aggressive. So that's what it means where it says indirect. Let's have a look at some examples. Could you kindly provide information on the progress made in the development of green hydrogen production technology? Would it be possible for you to provide? I would be grateful if you could provide. I would appreciate it if you could provide. Okay, so those are some good examples of how to make your email more polite. Okay, and we're going to move to the next page with a question. Okay, so there are many parts in this example which are not appropriate for a formal email. So what you have to do is you got to find the parts which are not appropriate and correct them, make them more polite, make them more formal. Now, in this example, we're not going to worry about the opening or the ending. So, hi Lee, the beginning, don't worry about that. And the ending, thanks David, don't worry about that. Okay, so in this particular question, we're just going to focus on the language of the body. So there are 3 parts. So everybody, please look at those 3 sections. Try to find the incorrect language or the incorrect style. And then in the space below it, you can try to correct those inappropriate words or phrases. So I'll give you a few minutes in this video, and then on the next slide, I'll show you the answers. Okay, so the next slide will show you the answers, and here we go. Checkout questions, page 143. Sample answers. Okay, so just wanted to reach out about. That is too informal, so let's correct it. This email is to bring your attention to a problem with. It was supposed to be, that's not formal enough. Regrettably, the expected smooth delivery turned into a disastrous situation. My whole afternoon, so that section, just go back. My whole afternoon fell to pieces. So this unforeseen turn of events significantly disrupted my plans, causing considerable inconvenience and disappointment. And then number 4 in the same section, it ain't a rocket science. Too informal. I believe ensuring a successful drone delivery should not be overly complex. Anyway, PLS. No, let's correct it. I urge your immediate attention to investigate this matter thoroughly and identify the underlying causes of this failure. Okay, last one. If this happens again, too informal, that whole part. So, regrettably, if such an incident is repeated, I will have no choice but to discontinue using your drone delivery service. Okay, so this Unit 6 formal emails will be split into 2 separate video lectures. And so this part 1 video will end now, and there will be a part 2 video which will finish the unit, and that will be shared with you at a later date. So for now, this is the end of this video.